Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Colton Haney. I'm a senior technical specialist here at ATG. And today I'd like to show you guys the length tool calculator from CTC Tools and how it can make doing run length calculations super quick, super easy, and get rid of a lot of headaches that I know a lot of you have. So today we're going to discuss why we may want to calculate lengths of pipe, conduit, duct, whatever, and discuss some of the pain points of different methods for doing so. Then we're going to take a look at the length calculator tool, talk about what it is and what it does. Then I'll show you guys the user interface. Spoiler alert, it's really simple and easy to use. And then I'll show you guys a couple of examples of using it. So for starters, why would you even want to do some run length calculations? Well, I mean, I couldn't even begin to list all of the reasons why you may want to do it. Just some, maybe you're doing some bidding and you need to, maybe you're a contractor doing bidding or material orders and you need to know how much it's going to cost to get all of the duct work or get all of the conduit or whatever the case may be. Maybe you're doing some design work and there's code requirements and limitations that you have to stay within. And I know that differs from state to state and different countries and such. Or maybe you're doing just design work and you just need to calculate different stuff. Maybe some static pressure or head pressure, so you know what size your motors need to be or what size air handling units you need. And the list goes on and on and on. So what are some different calculating methods? Well, we could do it manually. We could go through the model and click on each segment of pipe. We could write it down or put it in our calculator, what that length is, and then total it up at the end. That's definitely, unless you're only doing a very, very short run or it's only 3 pieces, that's going to take you a lot of time to go through and do that. You could do it with the spreadsheet. You could do it the same way that I was saying, manually, and instead of writing it down, just put it in your spreadsheet. This would be a lot better if, say you have a much larger run. You can use the formulas within, say, Excel to grab everything and sum it up for you. And that's going to require some setup. If you like others to be able to use your spreadsheet, even if you want to use your own spreadsheet, you're going to have to put those formulas in yourself. And again, that's another time-consuming way of doing things. One really cool one is that you can use schedules within Revit and have it calculate it for you. But this does take a little bit of time to set up. I know some people are not good with schedules or they're new to Revit. I know I could not wrap my head around schedules when I first started using Revit. And I still have some struggles now and again trying to get it to display the information that I want it to. So that's also going to take some time for setup. And then in the schedules, you're limited to the full run. You can't grab just a branch of the ductwork or a branch of the piping. You have to do the entire run of that system in that space. So, and then you've got Dynamo. Dynamo requires setup. It requires, in some cases, it may require some knowledge of Dynamo to really get it to do exactly what you want it to do. And then you've always got to deal with the quirks of Dynamo. With all of programming in any way, shape, or form, there's quirks you got to get around. If you aren't familiar with doing something exactly the way you want it, maybe you understand some basics, and there's manual workarounds for those basics to still get it to do what you want to do, but it's just another one of the quirks. And in a moment, I'll show you guys the schedule and a Dynamo script that I quickly put together, just to kind of help explain this a little bit better. So let me pull over my Revit model. I've just got this warehouse model that we've had floating around on our server. It's MEP, so it's conduit, ductwork, piping, all in one. So let's start by doing a schedule. I'll show you guys how to set that up. So we want to come over here. I'll right click schedules, new schedules / quantities. And we'll just do one for pipes. New construction, okay. And we want to get length, because that's what we're trying to calculate here. So we'll grab the length parameter, and we'll want to divide it up by the system. So we'll grab system type as well. And then I'll just grab comments. Okay, so that looks good to me. Hit OK. Okay. So now you can see I've got my each itemized piece of pipe in the model and what system it is, and then we've got the comments here. So we'll do a little bit of modifying here to clean this up a little bit, make it easier to read. So we'll want to sort by the system. We'll just go in ascending order. And we'll want a blank line to divide them up a little bit. We want to itemize every instance, or at least I like to be able to see how many segments are in each run. You don't necessarily have to do that. You could just turn off the itemize and it'll just give you the totals. So we'll need to turn on grand totals. And I want to be able to see the total per system, not just the entire model. So I'm going to put the footer here and have it include that grand total. So we'll hit OK. And here we go. It's now sorted by system type. And you can see oops, I think I forgot sorry about that. And formatting, you have to go to the length and turn on calculate totals. Sorry about that, guys. And there you go. Now it's calculating the totals of that entire run for that system type. And you can play around with this formatting and appearance of your schedule. Maybe you want to include more fields or whatever. But this is a good way to have Revit do the calculations for you. This is a good alternative, but I'm going to show you why this tool is better here in a minute. So let's go back to my 3D view, and let me pull up Dynamo. If any of you aren't familiar with Dynamo, it is a visual programming software that there is a open source version that works outside of Revit that you could make work with different programs like Rhino. But Autodesk has built in the program to work with Revit. So when you go to your Revit model, you go to manage, there's a button that is Dynamo. And then that will automatically have that window for Dynamo will be associated with your project that is open. So let's see if I can divide this up, make it a little bit easier to see. So, all right. So this is just a basic script that I've put together. If you don't know anything about Dynamo, You can learn very quickly by just building things that other people have built, trying to duplicate what they've done. I mean, I could take a screenshot right here and it wouldn't be that difficult to figure out how to put it together. But like everything else, this is taking time to do. And then you've got troubleshooting. Did I do it right? This fact checking, making sure that the calculations are accurate, so on and so forth. So just this basic one, I've come through and I've got a node to select your objects. So if I click on change, if you haven't selected anything, it'll say select. Then you come over in your model and you select what you need. That'll then grab all of those elements that I told it to, and it'll find the parameter named length. Then it will spit out the length of all the items that I grabbed and then add them together. Very basic. You could get in depth with this. You could make it do all kinds of neat things. But just for this demonstration, simple, easy to follow. Now, one of the, I mentioned before, there are quirks with using Dynamo. Just like any other programming language, it's just time spent in it, using it, eventually pick up different tricks to do different things or learn more complex ways of doing everything. So in order to get this to work, let's say I want to calculate the run of, I don't know, this section of pipe right here. So because with this node in Dynamo, you have to come through and do a left click drag to select everything you want. This is going to give you, you noticed it grabbed all of my fittings, it grabbed different parts of things that aren't even piping. I cannot, from this node, click and select each individual item. That's just one of the quirks that with this simple version that you have to work around. And so if I did that and I try to run it, it's going to give me an error because it doesn't know what the length of a fitting is if there's no parameter for that fitting. That's the length. And so when it tries to sum it up, it can't because there's nothing there to add. So to work around that, and this is just something you just have to know Dynamo. I know a lot of people that would stop right here just and find a different solution. So to work around this, you have to come in here and let's isolate the category. And now you can see all my fittings are gone. Everything else is gone. So if I want to come in here, let's say I only want to know what the length of this is right here, just this section. I can grab all of those. And now it'll work. It'll give me the sum is 23.83 feet for this section right here. But that's a lot of stuff that you just have to understand Dynamo, or you have to understand that there are ways that there are certain things you have to do to get it to work. And then so every time you want to run this, you have to go in your model, you have to open Dynamo, open your script, and then you've got to do all the isolating and just all that stuff just to get it to work. Now, if you're doing a huge long run, this is still pretty quick. It's a good little thing. If you are interested in Dynamo, figuring out these little things is a great way to start learning Dynamo. But it's going to take some time to set up. So let's talk about length calculator. It is part of the Revit Express tools. It's part of the BIM project suite from CTC, and it is actually a free tool. So If you guys are interested in any of these tools, not just length calculator, but if you're interested in any CTC tool, you can go on their site and you can download a free trial. It's a free 14-day trial, and all of the tools will work for that 14 days. Once those 14 days are up, if you decide that you don't want to purchase the suite, keep it installed. There's plenty of useful free tools that will still work, even if you didn't buy it. And length calculator is one of them. So just like in the name, length calculator calculates the length. And it also spits out the number of segments of that selected run. So it'll tell you if it's one single pipe that goes from one end to the other, or it'll tell you, say, hey, you've got 3 different pipes here because you have 2 fittings as well to make that turn. It'll tell you that that's a total of 5 segments. It'll also calculate the length of an entire run or just a portion of it. Like I was showing you with the Dynamo script, excuse me, with the Dynamo script, you can select just part of that run. You can select a branch of it instead of the whole thing. Length calculator can do that too. As you guys will see here in a moment, it's super quick. It's super simple and easy to use. And it works on pipe, duct, cable trays, conduit, all of that. So let's take a look at the tool. I'll close this Dynamo script. And we'll make this full screen again. So once you have it installed, you'll be able to find it at CTC software. And depending on the settings that you've got, it may be listed up here already. I have mine divided by free tools and the paid for tools. And you'll notice that the light for all of the suites, the lighter color are your free tools. And the darker colors are the ones that only work with the paid version. And as you can see, there's plenty of really useful tools right here. So you'll just open it under your free tools, and this is the interface. This is it, guys. There is not a whole lot to it. You've got one option. You can tell it if you want it to remember the size and position of the main window. There's not a lot of other things that you have to configure to get this to work right. It's basic. You just turn that option on or off depending on what you need. You've got your typical help button. That's with every CTC tool. Links to videos of demonstrations or different workflows for that tool. You have your support, so you can contact CTC or ATG if you need to about the tool. And then you've got your basic about. It'll tell you the license, the version, if you need to update, so on and so forth. Under this tool, again, there's your options, help, videos. You can request features, report bugs, and so it's pretty simple user interface. I mean, that's really it. Once your tool is open, let's look at that length, that branch of pipe again. Just do a tab, selects everything, including the fittings. I didn't have to isolate anything. I didn't have to turn off any other objects. I just click this calculate length button, and boom, there it goes. It shows me, there you go, about 23 and 3/4 feet. Yeah, 23 feet 9 inches or 10 inches. You've got your segment counts. Notice that there were 3 pipes. There you go. Super simple. So let's look at some examples that I've got over here. Let's say, and it works in multiple views. So we'll come over here. Here's a floor plan. Maybe I need to know just the length of the square duct. So I'll just grab everything that is in that square duct, and I can open the tool. And when I open the tool, those objects are already selected. I just hit calculate. You can also select them with the tool already open and calculate. You can leave the tool open and switch views. So here's a 3D view. Let's say we want to know how much conduit is in this section right here. And unfortunately, those pull boxes are not connected. Hit calculate. There you go. It gave me, there's 6 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the longest one is 24 foot, and the total is 133 feet and 9.5 inches. We can go to a section view. Maybe I need to know the length right here for a calculation for the pump. Grab it, hit calculate, 9 foot, 3/8 inch, 7 segments. The longest one is 9 foot. So super simple, quick and easy to use. And then it's free. It's powerful. Makes life a lot easier. You know, when I was in field, you'd have a PE come up and say, "Hey, how long is that branch right there? I need to do some calculations." All right, let me run this tool. 30 seconds later, I've got a number for him. I don't have to say, "Well, hold on, I'll get back to you in an hour or 30 minutes or whatever after I've figured out how to set up the schedule or built the Dynamo script or done the manual calculations, whatever." I just open the tool, run it, good to go. Here's your number. I can yell it down the hall. He can, you know, you don't have to do a lot of work just to get that simple number for something quick. In conclusion, length calculator is quick, easy method of finding the total length of a run. Requires absolute zero prior setup, and you have the power to find the total length of the entire run, just like you can with the schedule, or you can find just that section of it, just like you can with Dynamo. So thank you guys for your time, and I look forward to presenting to you guys again.